Chosen one. The bank is shocked by your name right now. Listen carefully because this moment is not random, and you were guided here for a reason that could change everything about the season you are walking through. I am speaking directly to your heart right now. And if you turn away too quickly, you may miss something that heaven has prepared for you at this very hour. The bank is shocked by your name because events are already beginning to move in ways you cannot yet see, and doors that look sealed are quietly opening. What you believed was delayed has been shifting behind the scenes while you were praying, struggling, and wondering if anyone heard you. I am revealing this now so you will understand that your waiting has not been wasted and your faith has not been ignored. There are people working behind desks who do not even realize that they are part of a plan greater than themselves. Files are moving, numbers are changing, and conversations are happening about your name in rooms you have never entered. What surprises them is not only the change they are witnessing, but the suddenness of it. They thought the story connected to you was already decided. Yet heaven never accepted that conclusion. I have been preparing a reversal that will cause confusion to those who assume nothing good could come from your situation. If you believe that I am working even when you cannot see it, comment Amen. What you are hearing is not about simple money or ordinary success. The shock connected to your name represents something deeper that many people fail to understand. It represents the moment when persistence, faith, and quiet endurance finally meet the reward that has been forming beyond human sight. I watched you during the nights when worry tried to overwhelm you. I saw the prayers you whispered when no one else knew you were struggling. There were days when you checked your accounts, your opportunities, and your options, and felt your heart grow heavy. You wondered if every effort was leading nowhere. Yet, while doubts surrounded you, heaven continued writing a different outcome. I never stopped arranging circumstances that would eventually bring relief and restoration into your life. Many people around you believed that your story would stay limited. They assumed your name would remain unnoticed, ordinary, and forgotten among thousands of others. But I have always known who you are and what purpose rests over your life. The same name that people overlooked is now becoming the very thing that causes astonishment in unexpected places. Someone reading documents about you did not expect what they found. They thought they were reviewing another routine record, another quiet life passing through the system unnoticed. Instead, they discovered movement that they cannot easily explain. It is not just numbers that are surprising them. It is the realization that something unusual is unfolding. Pause for a moment and feel the weight of this truth. Heaven is able to move in systems that seem rigid and impossible to change. Nothing on earth is beyond my reach when the time arrives for a promise to unfold. The shock surrounding your name is simply the beginning of a larger shift that will soon become clearer. If your heart trusts that I am guiding your future, comment 777. There is a reason I wanted you to hear this now and not later. When blessings begin to approach, fear often tries to rise first. Doubt whispers that nothing will truly change, and that disappointment is waiting again. I am telling you ahead of time so your heart will stand firm when the shift becomes visible. Do not let old disappointment convince you that new favor is impossible. The past season was a training ground where your patience and endurance were strengthened. You learned how to continue walking even when results seem far away. That quiet perseverance has not gone unnoticed in heaven. People around you may still see the same person they always saw. They do not recognize the unseen preparation that has been happening within you. Your character, your resilience, and your humility have grown deeper through every challenge. Those qualities are part of the reason doors are beginning to respond differently to your name. Even the people reviewing your situation cannot fully understand why things are turning the way they are. Some will say it is coincidence. Others will say it is simply timing. But you will know that there has been a hand guiding events beyond human calculation. I have been watching the moments when you almost gave up. There were days when you wondered if you had misunderstood every dream placed inside your heart. Yet something within you kept holding on. That quiet spark of belief allowed heaven to continue building a future you could not yet imagine. The shock connected to your name is not about pride or attention. It is about restoration and confirmation. It is the moment when hidden faith begins to produce visible results. And when that moment arrives fully, many people who doubted your path will suddenly grow silent. Right now, the movement has already started. Even if you have not received the final news yet, processes that once stalled are now advancing. Conversations that once ended quickly are now continuing longer. The pieces are gradually aligning in ways that will soon become undeniable. Do not rush ahead in anxiety trying to force the outcome. Continue walking in peace and steady faith. The same patience that carried you through the waiting will carry you into the fulfillment. I am guiding each step with care so that what arrives will remain secure and lasting. What is unfolding around you did not begin today. The movement you are about to witness started long before you realized that something new was forming around your life. I was already arranging pieces while you were still standing in the middle of confusion and wondering how anything could change. There were conversations taking place that had nothing to do with coincidence and everything to do with purpose. Even the smallest shifts that looked meaningless to others were quietly aligning toward the moment when your name would begin to carry unexpected weight. You once believed the doors were permanently closed because every attempt seemed to meet resistance. Each application, each request, and each effort looked like it disappeared into silence. But silence is not the same as absence. Sometimes silence is simply the space where preparation happens without distraction. I was shaping a path that would not only open, but remain open when the right moment arrived. Many people measure progress only by what they can immediately see. When results are slow, they assume nothing is happening. Yet the strongest foundations are often built in hidden places. Your patience during those quiet seasons was not wasted time. It was strengthening you for the moment when movement would finally begin. If you believe that heaven is still working even during silent seasons, comment 5555. There were days when you asked why your efforts seemed invisible. You looked around and saw others moving forward quickly while your own journey appeared to stall. Comparison tried to creep into your heart and whisper that your story would always move slower. But I never measure your life according to someone else's timeline. The path I prepared for you carries its own rhythm and its own moment of arrival. That moment is beginning to approach now. What seemed impossible yesterday is starting to look different today. Systems that once rejected your name are beginning to reconsider it. People who never noticed your situation are now examining it more carefully. Even they cannot fully explain why their attention has shifted. The shock connected to your name is not simply about numbers changing inside a record. It is about the sudden recognition that your story does not follow the pattern they expected. Someone reviewing your situation is beginning to realize that something unusual surrounds your path. They cannot see the spiritual hand guiding it, but they can sense that the direction is changing. You may still feel cautious when you hear this. Part of your heart wants to believe, but another part remembers disappointment. That hesitation is understandable, because you have carried hope through difficult seasons. Yet I am speaking to strengthen your faith before the evidence fully appears. When the news reaches you, I want your heart to recognize that it did not come from chance. Continue walking in the quiet confidence that I am guiding what unfolds next. The same endurance that carried you through uncertainty will now help you receive what is arriving. Many people think faith is only needed during hardship, but faith is also needed when blessings begin to appear. Without faith, people often sabotage the very doors they prayed for. You do not need to chase this moment with anxiety. What belongs to you will not pass you by. The shift surrounding your name has already begun moving through places you cannot enter physically. My influence does not depend on human permission. When I decide to move, circumstances respond in ways that surprise even those in authority. Think back to the nights when you prayed quietly and asked for direction. You did not ask for attention or applause. You simply asked for stability, for opportunity, and for the ability to breathe again without constant pressure. Those prayers did not disappear into emptiness. They were heard, remembered, and woven into a plan that is now starting to unfold. If your heart believes that restoration is approaching, comment 999. As the changes continue to develop, you may notice subtle signs first. A call that comes earlier than expected. A response that sounds different from previous ones. A door that once closed quickly now remains open longer. These moments may seem small at first, but they are signals that the direction of your story is turning. Do not underestimate small shifts. Many great transformations begin quietly before they become obvious to everyone. The first stage often appears ordinary, almost easy to overlook. Yet inside that simplicity lies the beginning of something powerful. The surprise connected to your name is growing gradually before it becomes undeniable. There are people who once doubted your ability to move forward. Some believed that your season of struggle would define the rest of your life. They watched your situation from a distance and quietly concluded that your opportunities were finished. But they never understood the depth of the promise resting over your journey. Your story was never meant to end where others thought it would. The challenges you faced were not signs of abandonment. They were shaping resilience inside you that many people never develop. Because of those experiences, you now carry wisdom and humility that will help you handle what is coming next. Blessings that arrive too quickly sometimes destroy the character of the person receiving them. But the season you walked through strengthened you instead of breaking you. It taught you how to remain grounded even when circumstances feel uncertain. That strength is one reason I trust you with what is approaching. When the final outcome begins to reveal itself, you may feel a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. That moment will remind you of every prayer whispered during the difficult days. You will see how each small step, each delay, and each lesson was quietly guiding you toward this turning point. The bank may see only numbers and documents. They may believe they are simply processing information or adjusting a record, but behind every movement surrounding your name stands a deeper purpose. Heaven has been writing a story that no system can fully understand. Do not forget where your strength came from when the results finally appear. The same faith that carried you through uncertainty must remain at the center of your life. Prosperity without gratitude easily becomes pride, and pride quickly leads people away from the path that once guided them. Stay humble when things begin to change. Remember the quiet moments when you depended on faith to keep moving forward. Those memories will protect your heart from forgetting who carried you through the hardest seasons. You are not stepping into this new chapter alone. The same presence that comforted you during uncertainty will remain beside you when stability arrives. I will continue guiding your decisions so that the opportunities opening before you lead toward lasting peace rather than temporary excitement. The shock surrounding your name is still unfolding in places you cannot see yet. Processes continue moving even while you read these words. The story is advancing step by step, drawing closer to the moment when the change becomes visible in your own life. You remember how many times you looked at your situation and tried to understand why progress seemed so slow. Every effort required patience and every step forward felt smaller than you hoped. Yet each step was still a step. Even when you thought nothing was happening, your life was still moving toward the moment I prepared, long before you ever recognized it. The shock surrounding your name continues to ripple through places you cannot see. People are reviewing details more carefully than before. What once looked ordinary now seems unusual to them. Some are even questioning how certain things could change so quickly. They do not realize that the timing is not sudden at all. It is the result of a long season of preparation. If your heart still believes that faith can move mountains, comment 333. What you must understand is that this moment is not only about financial change or a surprising opportunity, it represents the confirmation that perseverance truly matters. The struggles you endured were shaping a story that others could not understand while it was unfolding. Many people look only at the final result and forget the hidden chapters that led to that moment. You carried burdens that others never noticed. Some days you smiled in front of people while quietly fighting worry inside your heart. You continued showing kindness even when you felt exhausted. Those unseen acts of faithfulness were never ignored. They were being counted and remembered while the path ahead slowly formed. When systems begin to respond differently to your name, it can feel unreal at first. You may wonder if the change will truly last or if it is only temporary. That hesitation comes from past disappointments that tried to teach you to expect less. But I am reminding you now that restoration often arrives when people least expect it. The turning point of a story rarely announces itself loudly in the beginning. It begins quietly, almost gently, until one day the difference becomes clear. The shift surrounding your name is growing in that quiet way. Right now, people are noticing details they overlooked before. Doors that once remained closed are beginning to loosen. Even the individuals responsible for reviewing your situation may not fully understand why they feel compelled to reconsider it. Something within them senses that they should take another look. That sense is not random. It is the result of guidance working beyond human awareness. You may soon notice new conversations beginning around your opportunities. Questions that once ended quickly will now continue longer. Curiosity will replace dismissal. These changes may appear small at first, but they are signs that the direction of your journey is turning. Continue walking with patience and humility while these events unfold. Do not rush ahead in excitement or fear. The same calm faith that carried you through hardship will keep you steady during this new chapter. Balance is important when blessings begin to arrive. If you are ready to receive what heaven has prepared for your life, comment 222. Many people assume that miracles always appear suddenly and dramatically. Sometimes they do, but often they grow quietly until the moment when their impact becomes undeniable. What is happening around your name is unfolding in that quiet way right now. Step by step, the environment around your situation is shifting. You might look back at this season later and realize that the signs were present long before the final outcome appeared. A small opportunity here, a helpful conversation there. Each moment will reveal itself as part of a greater design that was guiding your life forward. Remember the nights when you prayed for stability and peace. Those prayers came from a sincere place in your heart. You were not asking for attention or recognition. You were simply asking for relief from pressure and uncertainty. Those prayers reached heaven and remained there until the right time arrived. This is the season when the answers begin moving toward you. Some of them may arrive through financial improvement. Others may appear through new opportunities, supportive relationships, or unexpected breakthroughs. Each one will remind you that perseverance and faith truly matter. Do not allow fear to convince you that you are unworthy of these changes. Sometimes people who have struggled for a long time begin to doubt their own value. They wonder if good things are meant for someone else instead. But your journey has never been overlooked. Your life carries purpose, and your perseverance has been shaping that purpose quietly. The blessings approaching you are not accidents. They are confirmations that your story continues to move forward. The same patience that carried you through the valley is now bringing you closer to the mountaintop. When the final outcome becomes visible, some people will be surprised. Others may try to understand how your situation changed so dramatically. But you will know that the shift did not happen overnight. It was forming during every difficult day you endured. The shock surrounding your name is simply the first glimpse of a greater transformation. It signals that your life is entering a new chapter where the weight of past struggles begins to lift. The road ahead may still require wisdom and discipline, but it will no longer feel like a constant battle. As these changes continue, remain grounded in gratitude. Gratitude protects the heart from pride and keeps your spirit connected to the source of your strength. When you remember how far you have come, it becomes easier to walk forward with humility and peace. You are not alone. As this new season begins to unfold, the same presence that strengthened you during hardship is still walking beside you now. Every step forward is being guided with care so that what arrives will bring stability rather than chaos. The moment when your name surprises people is not the end of the story. It is the doorway into a future that is still developing around you. Opportunities will continue to grow as long as you remain faithful to the path placed before you. As the days move forward, the quiet changes surrounding your life will continue to grow stronger. What once felt distant will begin to move closer step by step until you can finally see the difference with your own eyes. You may still wake up some mornings wondering if the shift is truly real, because long seasons of struggle can make hope feel fragile. But I want your heart to understand something important. The turning of your story did not begin when you first noticed it. It began when you refused to give up during the moments when everything felt uncertain. There were nights when you lay awake thinking about responsibilities, bills, and opportunities that seemed just out of reach. Your mind searched for solutions, and sometimes exhaustion replaced your confidence. Yet, even during those restless nights, your faith remained alive. It may have been quiet and fragile, but it never disappeared. That small flame of belief became the reason your story continued moving forward. The surprise connected to your name continues spreading through places you cannot physically enter. There are individuals looking again at records they once closed. Some are rechecking details they thought were final. They cannot fully explain why they feel the need to look deeper, but something within them is guiding their attention back to your situation. If you trust that heaven is still guiding your life, even now, comment 1. You must remember that favor does not always arrive in loud and dramatic ways at first. Sometimes it begins as a subtle change in how people respond to you. A person who once overlooked your name may suddenly pause and reconsider. Someone who once dismissed your request may now feel compelled to review it again. These small shifts are signs that something greater is unfolding behind the scenes. For a long time, it may have felt as though your name carried little influence in the places where decisions were made. You felt invisible in systems that moved quickly past you. But the same name that once seemed unnoticed is now drawing attention in unexpected ways. What surprises them is not just the numbers or details they see, it is the realization that the outcome they expected is beginning to change. Take a moment and breathe in the truth of what I'm telling you. Your waiting season was not a punishment. It was preparation. Every challenge you faced was strengthening the foundation beneath your life. Without that foundation, the blessings approaching you could have created instability instead of peace. This is why I allowed you to grow slowly through those difficult months and years. Patience was forming inside your character. Wisdom was developing through your experiences. Compassion for others was growing through the hardships you endured. Those qualities will protect you when opportunities begin expanding around your life. Within the first moments of this turning season, remember to pause and acknowledge the journey that brought you here. Gratitude keeps your heart balanced when circumstances begin improving. It reminds you that every step forward is a gift and not something to take for granted. If these words strengthen your heart, take a moment to like the video so that this encouragement can reach someone else who needs hope right now. As the movement around your name continues, you may notice new conversations beginning around you. Opportunities may appear in ways you did not expect. People may start speaking to you differently than they once did. These changes may feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you spent a long time feeling overlooked. Do not allow unfamiliar blessings to make you uncomfortable. Many people who have endured long struggles initially feel uncertain when improvement finally arrives. They question whether the change will truly last. But remember that what heaven builds is not temporary. It is designed to bring stability into your life. The systems that once seemed unmovable are now adjusting. Processes that once moved slowly are beginning to move faster. Even the individuals involved may not understand why your situation now receives attention it never received before. But you know that a deeper influence is guiding the shift. If your heart is ready to step into this new chapter with faith, comment 1010. You will soon begin to see signs that confirm what is happening behind the scenes. A message you receive may sound more hopeful than previous ones. A conversation that once ended quickly may continue with new interest. These small confirmations will strengthen your confidence as the story unfolds. Continue walking forward with calm trust instead of rushing ahead with fear. The same steady patience that carried you through hardship will help you receive what is now approaching. When blessings are handled with wisdom and humility, they grow stronger over time. There may still be moments when old worries try to return. That is natural after long seasons of uncertainty. But when those thoughts appear, remind yourself how many times you were carried through challenges you thought would defeat you. Each of those moments was proof that you were never abandoned. The shock surrounding your name is not just about a document or account. It represents the recognition that your story did not end where people assumed it would. It is the beginning of a chapter where perseverance finally meets visible results. Many people who once doubted your direction will quietly step back when they see the change unfolding. Some may even wonder how everything turned around so quickly. But you will know that the shift was not sudden. It was built slowly through faith, endurance, and unseen guidance. The new chapter approaching you will require wisdom as well as gratitude. Opportunities bring responsibility, and responsibility requires clear thinking. Stay grounded in humility so that success never separates you from the values that carried you through hardship. Remember the compassion you developed during difficult seasons. Continue treating others with kindness even when your circumstances improve. Those qualities will keep your spirit balanced and your path clear. The story unfolding around your life is still developing. What you see now is only the early stage of a greater transformation. Step by step, the environment around you will continue to shift. Doors that once resisted your efforts will begin to open more easily. As these changes become clearer, your confidence will grow stronger. You will realize that your prayers were not ignored and your patience was not wasted. The journey that once felt heavy will begin to feel lighter with each new confirmation. For a long time, you carried responsibilities that felt heavier than what others around you understood. You tried to stay strong while managing pressure that few people ever saw. There were moments when you wondered if relief would ever come. Yet through every one of those days, your spirit continued searching for hope. Even when your mind felt tired, the reason you are hearing these words now is because the turning of your story is still unfolding. The surprise connected to your name is not a single moment that quickly passes. It is the beginning of a process where the path ahead begins opening in ways you could not have predicted earlier. Every step forward will slowly reveal how carefully your journey has been guided. If your heart still holds faith that God is working for your good, comment 1515. Think about how many times you believed a door was permanently closed. You saw rejection, silence, or delay, and assumed the opportunity had ended. Yet what looked like a final decision was often only a pause. Behind the scenes, circumstances were still adjusting and aligning for a better outcome. There are individuals now taking another look at your situation who did not expect to do so. Something inside them feels compelled to review what they once dismissed quickly. They may not understand the reason for this renewed attention, but it is part of the movement unfolding around your life. Favor often works quietly inside the decisions of people who are unaware that they are being guided.